Let's say that you are plotting the water level in these buckets on the y-axis, and time is plotted on the x-axis. The graph of water level of the bucket on the left will be a differential function. That is, at every second, the water level will be slightly different. Now let's take the example of water level of the bucket on the right this time. The graph of water level of this bucket on the right will not be differential, because water falls as drops into this bucket every 3 seconds. So let's say you measure the amount of water in this bucket every 1 second. Will the level of water vary every 1 second? Because if the first drop of water fell now, the next drop of water will fall after 3 seconds. So the water level is not different every second or every microsecond as in the first case. Here, there is a change every 3 seconds. So let's say you are using a camera to measure the rate of water level change every second. For the first bucket, every photo will be slightly level in showing the water level from the other photo. For the second bucket, consecutive photos taken after 1 second won't necessarily be different from each other. If you compare of graphs of water level of bucket 1 and bucket 2, you will see that in bucket 1, there is constant change per second, or even per millisecond. But for bucket 2, the change happens in steps. So graphically, it is not necessary that 2 points will have some different slopes necessarily. Now say there are 3 points A, B, and C on these slopes. For bucket 1, point A, point B, and point C will always be unequal in magnitude with respect to each other. They will have unique and distinct values. But now, look at the graph of bucket B. Point A and B have different values, but point B and C have the same values. This is because between every 3 seconds, when there is a time interval between drops, the water level does not change. So, the rate of change in this interval is 0. In the next video, we will try to visualize differentiable functions using a car and its velocity, and also learn about continuous functions.
What if there was an e-book that explained major concepts of math using simple and everyday examples and analogies? What if sine theta is a measure of how much perpendicular two forces or objects or influences are with respect to each other? So a roof which is perpendicular to the flow of snow, won't it collect more snow than a roof that is less perpendicular? Now, coming to cos theta. Cos is a measure of how much parallel two forces or objects or influences are with respect to each other. Say two forces push a drum. Won't the maximum effect be when these forces are acting parallel to each other? Complex numbers. They come into math whenever one parent force or influence gets divided into two daughter influences. You can call one daughter influence as the real part and the other daughter force as the imaginary part. What if the base of logarithms is the rate at which change takes place? What if log of a number gives you the cause for every effect? In calculus, dx means keep adding along the x-axis. D means keep adding along the y-axis. Doesn't means keep adding along the z-axis. D theta means keep adding along a vertically curved plane. Deep psi means keep adding along a horizontally curved plane. DH means keep adding along increasing height. Doctor means keep adding along increasing radius. Also, what if integration and differentiation are reverse processes of each other? Add disks one above another along a height, you get a cylindrical structure. Thoughts integration. Remove disks along height, you get circles. Divergence is the rate of change of a quantity, for example heat, along the x, y and z axis simultaneously. What if curl is a measure of how much a field can make you spin? What if I, j and k in the formula indicate different planes of rotation? What if the diagonal of a matrix is the axis of rotation of a matrix? What if all these intuitive examples and understanding is explained in one single ebook? More such concepts explained intuitively. Link is given below in description.